at my goals from 2024, these were the goals that I set to achieve. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jules and I talk about all things life and personal finance. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my 2025 financial reset as well as reflecting on 2024's financial goals. I think as we approach the new year, it's a good way to have a clean slate and plan for the upcoming year, as well as reflect on the past year, what we done well, what we didn't do so well, and how we can build off of everything we worked towards this year. So I'm going to be sharing some of my top goals. I don't have too many that I'm going to set for this year, but I did have quite a bit in this past year from 2024 that I'm excited to share with you all. I hope some of these goals that I set for myself can motivate or inspire you to create some of your own. And so with that being said, grab a coffee and let's jump right in. So looking at my goals from 2024, these were the goals that I set to achieve throughout the year, and we'll go through them one by one. So the first one that I had was to max out my Roth IRA for 2023. I still had quite a bit to go, 5.2K. In 2023, you could contribute up to $7,000, and I had only put in about $2,000. This was because in 2023, I was mainly filling up my emergency fund as I just gotten out of college and started a job for the first time. So I was really building up the foundations before I wanted to start investing. So 2023 was about saving and building the foundations, and then 2024 was more so for being able to invest. I do also want to preface by saying I currently still do live at home, so I'm very grateful I don't have to pay for rent or utilities. So that's why I'm also able to save a larger portion of my paycheck, and in turn been able to contribute to a lot of these goals. So I did achieve this. I wanted to finish it by Q1, so I'd had to put about $1,700 a month for those 3 months, which I was able to max out, so that was great. And then the second one was that I wanted to max out my Roth IRA for 2024, which was the same amount from like April to September. And one thing about me is I don't like to set 5 goals and put a little bit of my paycheck each month towards each of the goals. I'd rather focus on one goal, knock it out, and then continue to the next goal. I just like to be able to focus on one thing at a time when I'm goal setting. So for 2024, I'm actually at about $1,000 left that I still need to contribute to, but I'm confident that I can hit this by the end of the year. So technically, I haven't hit it yet, but I know I'm going to, so that counts. Third goal was to achieve 15K in emergency fund. I actually did not do this one. I didn't put really a penny, I don't think, towards my emergency fund, just because I think I'd rather start investing and putting money into my retirement account or my investment account, or my brokerage account, sorry, than having money just sit in like a cash account. So I decided that I wasn't gonna do this, so I did not. And then next goal was to save 10K for a vacation and use it throughout the year whenever I needed it. I actually did do this. I think I actually ended up saving a little bit more, which I know is kind of crazy that most of you are probably like 10K for vacations, like are you serious? But I think that traveling is one of the things I'm trying to prioritize in this stage of my life, and it's very high on my list of values. And so when I was like taking a step back and thinking about like how I want to live my life and what I truly value in life, I definitely found that travel was at the top of my list, and not like luxury travel or travel just for the sake of traveling. I think that going to different countries or different cities and experiencing a different culture, a different like scene is very beneficial for personal growth, in my opinion, and you get to see like different perspectives on how people live in the world. Traveling is very valuable, and it's definitely something I want to prioritize when I'm younger and not when I'm like 65, 70 and I'm retired, because there's a lot of things I'm sure I probably won't be able to do physically when I'm older. So it's definitely one of my top values in life. Definitely not ashamed to say that I spend a lot of money, at least in this stage of my life, traveling. I know next year it'll definitely be a bit different because I plan on moving out next year. So obviously I won't be able to save as much on that because I still want to work on investing more. Yeah, I think this year I had a good opportunity. I was working from home, so I really wanted to take full advantage of it. And lastly, I wanted to have a low buy year. I've realized that I overconsume and impulsively spend way too much, and so 2023 was the year that I figured that out. 2024 was the year that I really wanted to master my money and not impulsively spend and be like intentional. I think both from financially, like it's a waste to waste money and to buy things that you know is going to be junk in a couple of weeks or months. And also obviously environmentally, I want to be cognizant of the things I buy and make sure that, you know, it's something I'm gonna actually use. So I definitely would say that I achieved my low buy year. So pretty good. I pretty much achieved all my goals for this year. For the most part, I'm really glad with the goals that I set and that, you know, they were attainable and I was able to reach pretty much all of them for the most part. Okay, so going into 2025, let's see. So these are my goals for 2025. Also, I have some for other categories like health, fitness, personal, work related. So let me know if you guys want to see that as well. So jumping into my finance goals for 2025, I want to max out my Roth IRA account again in Q1, which I know is kind of crazy, but like I said, I like to focus on one goal at a time and make sure that I complete one goal before moving on to the next. So I'm hopefully going to achieve this by Q1 so I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the year. Then my second goal is to save for $10K into a brokerage account. This is definitely want to prioritize this year. I have like maybe $2,000 in a brokerage account just from like previous years. I haven't really put much into it since like 2 years ago. So I definitely want to contribute more to this because I do want to start filling it up because I do want to eventually buy a car and a house within 10 years. And I know 10 years is like a long time, but I'm going to be going like, you know, in my 20s, I don't really have too much money to be able to contribute to this, and I live in Southern California. Owning a house is definitely very expensive, so I want to make sure that I start saving little by little to be able to put, you know, a down payment for a house one day. Then my next goal is to save $3K for vacations. This was definitely a lot smaller than last year. I do have a vacation coming up in the coming months, but I did already save for it in 2024. That way I don't have to worry about it in 2025. That's pretty much my main vacation. I think this might be for smaller vacation, like a weekend trip or like a 5-day trip to a city near me. I still haven't been to Catalina, which is crazy because I'm born and raised in Southern California and I've never been to Catalina Island, and I've been saying for years I need to go, so I need to actually go this year. So yeah, so $3K for vacations. Another goal I want to have, which I actually kind of did this year, I want to say I did probably 2, maybe 3, but I definitely want to have 3 no spend months and just really hone in on my spending and kind of reset. I would typically do one of these in January, but I'm actually going to be away on vacation, so that doesn't really work. But I will in March for sure do a no spend month because I'm going to be coming back from a big trip, so I need to definitely hone in on not spending. So basically March is my January this year, and I want to do a couple throughout the year. I noticed that I spend a lot more money in the later half of the year, like once it hits summer, once it's June, from like June to August, maybe September, I spend a lot of money just going out. I'm more social during the summer, and then obviously during this time of the year, November, December, when it's Christmas time, buying a bunch of gifts, I definitely notice I spend a lot more during those months. So I really want to make sure that I'm able to, at least towards the beginning of this year, really hone in on not spending so much. Hopefully once I do spend more in those later months, it'll be okay. And then lastly, this year I want to continue to have a low buy year as I did this year. Like I said, I think it's very important to be mindful of your consumption, and I know that each month I create a budget and make sure I try to stick to those budgets as much as possible, and so that I can hit all my financial goals for this year. Okay, so that is my financial reset, my goals for 2025. I hope this gave you some ideas or inspirations on your own financial goals that you want to set coming into this new year. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'd love to hear what some of your guys' financial goals are for 2025, or some things that I can implement into my financial goals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.